I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Every morning, school children are made to say the Pledge of Allegiance. It took me years to be able to say it. See, I'm not from here. In 2003, my mother, who was already a permanent resident, entered me into the United States. I was 8 years old, so I didn't really understand any of the benefits um, of leaving paradise because to me, that's what Haiti was, paradise. And despite how my relatives in Haiti tried, despite how much they raved about this country and told me how great it was and how much opportunity I would how much better my life would get once I got there. I didn't understand any of that. I didn't understand why my mother couldn't come to me, why I had to go to her. I entered the US when I was 8 years old and I started in third grade. I didn't know how to speak any English, but I learned. The thing, and when I was learning English, every word I got wrong meant that I was bullied. Every word that I didn't understand meant I was bullied. Every word that I pronounced wrong meant I was bullied. Sent crying, sent home crying. So I learned to listen. I learned to read. I learned to understand. I learned to speak. I became fluent. What that meant was when it was time to say the Pledge of Allegiance, I listened to the words. They were asking me to renounce my own country and pledge allegiance to this one. And in exchange, I would get liberty and justice for all including me. I didn't want to. That wasn't a contract I wanted to enter. I didn't want to do it. Because despite their best efforts to convince me that my country, my paradise, was nothing but a shithole, it didn't feel right. But eventually, I assimilated. I stood up, I put my hand over my heart, and I pledged my allegiance. And after that, I was told of the American dream, the house, the car, the 2.5 kids. That if I just worked hard enough, that I would get that. So I did. I brought home honor roll after honor roll. I got into a magnet program in high school. I graduated with honors, got into college on a scholarship, took out student loans because in the end it would all pay off. I went in wanting to go into PR and advertisement. Found out that I really liked filmmaking, but even then I knew But I knew that wasn't a practical choice. So I switched over to economics and eventually to math. I switched over to economics and math. I consistently made the dean's list. I got the departmental award for economics and communications. I graduated with a 3.8 GPA in math and economics. Got inducted into a ton of honor societies. And then afterwards, I took 2 years off at the end of those serving as an AmeriCorps member. At the end of those 2 years, I became an American citizen. I applied for a master's in math and I got in. And that's where I am right now, trying to get a master's in math. Because if I worked hard enough, I would get it. I'd get the house, the car, and the 2.5 kids. And that was the promise. That's what the contract said. That was the promise. That was the contract that I signed. That's what I pledged my allegiance for. But during those times, year after year, death after death, those promises were broken, chipped away at. But I held on because at the end, I would get the house, the car, and the 2.5 kids. But then I watched that video and I realized, despite my awards, my diplomas, even if I did get the master's in math and went on to get the PhD in economics as planned, even after all of that, it wouldn't matter. All it would take is an interaction with the wrong cop. That's all. And all my hard work would have meant nothing. That even though I did everything right, and even if I continue to do everything right, none of it would matter. And they keep saying, oh, it's just a few bad cops. That's all. But all it takes is one. All it takes is an interaction with the wrong one. And that's it. They won't see my accomplishments. They won't see my degrees. They won't see my achievements. They won't see any of that. All they'll see is my skin. That's it. That's all. I realize that to them, when it comes to me and the people like me, that contract meant nothing. That I was never included in the all. It was never when they say justice and liberty for all, and it all doesn't include me. I'm not part of that. So even when I follow all the rules and do all the right things, it wouldn't matter. So I watched that video and I just cried. I just cried. It just felt hopeless. I mean, what was the point? I looked at all my achievements and I couldn't see the point. What was the point? And I look at the news and I read the comments and they start nitpicking, pointing out, saying, don't make this man a martyr. Look at what he did. Look at all the wrongs he did. You say, don't make George Floyd a martyr. Look at what he did. Look at all the wrongs he did. Knowing that even if he had been and it wouldn't have mattered, even if he had been a CEO of 500, CEO of a damn company, that interaction would have just ended up the same. I read the story of Breonna Taylor, and I think, why? I'm getting all these emails from companies, from brands, from school about how they stand with the protesters, how they're committed to racial equality. And after so many broken promises, I can't bring myself to believe them. I look at the news, and it's like, oh, these politicians, they're outraged by this. They're denouncing these bad cops. They're saying what happened to George Floyd was horrible. What happened to Breonna Taylor was terrible. They're outraged. And I just don't believe it. I can't bring myself to believe it. Like, oh, change is coming, you know? I just don't believe it. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. And I don't know what to do. I've always had a plan. I've always had a plan, and now I just don't. I don't. All I can think about is that none of it will matter. I could break through all the obstacles in my way, work twice, three times as hard. I could do all that. But the only thing that will do is make me their exception. Because I learned real quick that my failures fall on the black community. But they feel entitled to my success. That when I succeed, oh, you're not like the rest of them. But when I fail, they just use it to reaffirm their racist beliefs. I just feel like I'm fighting a losing battle. I could be laying in bed and be shot and killed and have it just be brushed under the rug. That they feel entitled to my success, to my life. And this is something African American children are taught very young. They look at their peers, they look at their older peers, they look at the older people in their community, and they see that even when they do everything right, even when they do everything right, that they still get shot and killed. That their life, after one interaction with the wrong cop, just is just taken away. It just ends like that. They see that. Children aren't dumb. They see that. And they think, well, if they're doing everything right and they still get shot, and they still get killed, why should I? Why should I bother? Why should I go to school? Why should I go to college? Why should I do any of this if a random stop by the cops just gets me killed? If I can just be shot while laying in my bed. I just feel like I'm not strong enough for this. I'm not. What am I supposed to do? I just feel like none of it matters. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Because right now their hands are being forced. And I feel like even if they do change things, if they do defund the police, they're just gonna wait. They'll wait it out. They'll wait until this is just a distant memory for everyone. And slowly but surely, they'll just bring the system right back up. What am I supposed to do? What do I do? Every time I sit down and I come up with a plan of what to do, I reach a point without fail. I reach a point where I'm like, does it really matter what I do? I wanted to help. I wanted to help. I wanted to help first generation college students navigate college. I wanted to help them get in and help them graduate on time. And then I think I wanted to protect them. Well, that's not gonna protect them. I wanted to give back to my community by getting these kids educated, by telling them the importance of getting an education, of getting a degree. But that's not gonna protect them. They can do all the right things, all the right things, and still just be killed in their bed, killed for going to the store, killed while walking home, killed while jogging. Killed for just being themselves, for just looking the way they do. And none of these cops will see their accomplishments, see how hard they work to get to where they are. And I just kept going back. So what would be the point? And I just don't know where I'm supposed to get any hope from. Or it just seems like history is just constantly repeating itself. What am I supposed to do? I don't know if I'm strong enough for this. I see all of these hopeful messages in social media. All of these people just energized and hopeful. And I just don't know how to be a part of that because I don't feel it. I don't know if I can trust America again. There's been so many broken promises. I don't know if I have it in me again to hope and be let down. I don't know if I'm strong enough for that. I don't know if I'm strong enough for this. So help me. Help me be strong enough for this. I want to be, I want to help. I want to be hopeful. I want to trust. I don't know if I can.